2025 was a massive year of growth for me as a composer. I just quit my job in marketing and moved back to doing music full time, and I sort of had to retrain everything. There's a lot of lessons I learned along the way, and I'll make a video about that soon, but right now I want to talk about 10 ways that I grew as a composer in 2025 that you can do in 2026.
Hey, so I'm currently editing this video. I'm trying a new mic and I apologize for the audio issues. I think there's a gain setting on my camera that I wasn't aware of and it's a little blown out. I'm going to see how I can fix it. But there's just so much good information in this video that I did not want to re-record it. It was all off the cuff, so good luck.
The first thing that I did was I became much more engaged with my medium. So I've been struggling to love what I do, love my music, and love the films. And I've started to approach it almost like going to couples therapy and keeping a journal about what I loved each day about film or music and little things that I was picking up on that I may have not have paid attention to before. And one thing that I feel really reignited my love for film in particular was I set myself a challenge to watch every Oscar-nominated movie last year. Some people call this the Oscar death race, and there's huge communities around this whole thing. But this forced me to go to the movies more. It forced me to watch things I wouldn't normally see. Last year I watched like 20 films. This year I watched 150. And I got so much more out of film and music just by going and being a part of the filmmaker, the film-going experience than I ever would have if I just kind of ignored it. I've been playing more video games, I've been listening to more music in general, and I feel like the number one thing about being an artist that people kind of overlook is how much you need to feed yourself as an artist in order to put out as an artist. 2, I started attending more in-person filmmaking events. This can be from helping out on set, to going to mixers in Brooklyn or New Jersey, or really anywhere where filmmakers are. Being in person is such a different experience than working remotely, which I've been doing for the past 5 years. Being able to just meet people and feel that creative energy in the room, it's so invigorating and it inspires you so much to just go out and make stuff. It doesn't even need to be for like a paid project, but meeting these people and bumping elbows and starting to see a community of other artists that you are around really just, it's such a good thing, and it pushed me. I got exposed to so many new ideas and I met so many awesome new people, which brings me to my third point is I started surrounding myself with other artists. And I'm not just talking about filmmakers and musicians, but I started going to artist meetups. Graphic novelists, illustrators, painters, sculptors, dancers, choreographers. I even started hosting one in the not upstate region of New York. And it's been just so great to have a support group that we also co-work together weekly. And this motivates all of us. It helps we're holding each other accountable. And just being able to know, like, in this super lonely studio space where I work 8 hours a day and don't see anybody, that there's someone else out there that I can contact and will relate to what I'm dealing with, even if they're in a different medium. The first actual musical thing I started doing to be a better composer in 2025 was I started training like an athlete. Athletes are known for how hard they train and how hard they practice and how dedicated they are to every minute detail of their body. As a composer, I think a lot of us overlook just the importance of practicing. You see guys like John Mayer who are just absolute beasts on the guitar, and you know they practice. But as a composer, what does your practice routine really look like, and how do you improve? How do you get 1% better every single day when you sit down to write? It's not just writing daily. It's writing daily with intention, and I will talk about this in a later video or blog post on scoringtech.net. But I started really doing exercises again and studying and developing a practice routine as a composer, which has pushed me quite a bit. Speaking of being a composer, I started a podcast this year, and that was my number 5 way I got better. So this year I interviewed 6 composers who inspired me, and I learned how they got started, what makes them tick musically, and I got so much great practical knowledge out of this, and it was just so cool to talk to these people and hear their perspectives and learn so much. And I only did 6, but I'm hoping to do a lot more in 2026. that's like 4 to 6 hours that I really just got so much out of. If you are interested, they're on my channel, or check out the podcast Coffee with Composers. But going on what I've kind of been saying, my number 7 way I became a better composer is I continued learning. I bought textbooks. I studied. I read all these articles. I listened to podcasts. I did not stop just because I graduated college 5 years ago. I am always looking for something new, and I am looking to explore and learn new things, get a deeper understanding of music, film, and everything in general. Right now, as of December 28th, I'm actually reading The Harmonic Experience, which, mind-blowing. I'm not that deep into it, but highly, highly recommend. I'm reading In the Blink of an Eye and learning more about editing. And I'm reading The Anatomy of Story by John Truby, and I'm about storytelling and screenwriting. As you can see, studying film music is not just about studying music theory. It's about studying film theory. It's studying story. And everything you study gives you a little bit more of an edge. And I definitely see it coming out in my music and the way I approach films. And I think you will too if you take some time to really figure out things that you can learn to improve. Number 8 is a little more introspective. I worked on myself as an artist. I did tons of artistic development journal prompts. I did exercises. I did a lot of meditations. I really tried to figure out who I am and what my sound is. And this actually all started because I set myself as a goal to try to get into USC this year. I ended up not even applying. But going through the process of, hey, here's what you need, here's what's lacking in my portfolio and where my connections are, really kind of pushed me to really go in and be like, all right, like, what is my artist statement? Which is something we did at Berklee our very first semester. But, you know, that was almost 10 years ago at this point, 2016. Wow. And sitting down now and doing it, now that not to say I didn't take it seriously then, but now that I understand the importance of this and understand how I've developed and changed, really was quite a great experience. I was never really happy with the music I was writing, and going through this, making mood boards, doing playlists, and really trying to find a through line, I feel like the music I am writing for me, when I write music for me and not for a project, is really starting to be something I'm proud of. And it is seeping into my commission work, which is awesome. And I hope to kind of develop that further next year. Which, again, I have a whole series on this on my blog, scoringtech.net, and I have another video worth checking out on Finding Your Voice here. Number 9 is a little interesting and can be kind of controversial, but I learned a lot about the creator economy, content creation, monetization, and that whole realm. Coming from my marketing background, I didn't have to start entirely from scratch. I got to learn on the job and really hone in like what works and what doesn't over a couple years of experience. But I'm on my own. This is all me. I am doing the podcast, the Instagram. I had a reel go viral, which was really cool. I'm doing this YouTube, and everything I do comes with new challenges I have to learn, a whole new set of skills. But it does make it so much easier to be out in front of people. Talking to a camera is a lot like talking to a friend once you get used to it. Just watch my early videos. You'll see it took me a while to get comfortable. But I also noticed that doing this YouTube thing, I am learning a different language of film that I wasn't really exposed to as a composer. And yeah, I'm using a little DSLR in what used to be my bedroom growing up that's now turned into my studio. But I am learning how to frame shots, how to edit. I'm learning a lot about lighting. Sound was actually a challenge for me as a composer. You would think, hey, like, you can do it. Easy, it's in your skill. But doing it on film and getting it going, pain in the ass, I learned. I'm trying a new mic for this video, which I'm hoping solves a bunch of my issues with that and gives me a little more freedom to move around and not be locked into my condenser mic. But this is all just to say that I learned a lot about how to market myself, how to make videos, content strategy, and I'm hoping that this is going to be a core part of my identity going forward. I really believe that YouTube is the future for film composers and composers in general, and it's shocking to me that the stuff that I think would work so well on YouTube as a composer in the film space hasn't been done yet. And I want to do that. So if you're interested in film music content, just drop a follow, subscribe, let me know what you want to see. But I have a lot of great ideas, and in 2026, I'm going to be hitting this content thing a lot harder because I really do believe this is the future. Speaking of following and subscribers, one of the best things I did this year was I built a community. This is similar to how I surrounded myself and formed a co-working artist group, but it's really, I think, something that deserves its own point. I feel like I started from scratch and built a whole new friend group out from the bottom up. I started a Discord channel for composers to just share their struggles and chat with each other and help each other and do challenges. And just having these people, it's night and day from where I was 3 years ago doing this before the strike and all that. It's really lonely being an artist, especially in post-production and doing composition on lower budgets where you can't afford to hire bigger teams because, you work on set. These people work on set and they are surrounded by the actors, the cinematographers, DPs, directors, PAs, the art people, and you're in a community there. And then the film gets to you and you are in your little space by yourself probably, just working on music for weeks on end, not really seeing anybody and being quite alone. And working with other people, building that community, and really just building a community around who you are and what you do and people who have similar interests has just been so, so good for me. And I hope it's good for you too. You are more than welcome to join my community. My Discord link is below, and I'm sorry. Also, I'm very sorry if this video sounds like an ad. A lot of what I've done, I just think is so awesome, and I really want to share it with you. Everything I'm mentioning is free, from my Discord to my other videos, but I want you to be a part of this community, and I want you to succeed, and I want to help you succeed. And I guess since we're on this, my very last thing, a little bonus one, was I worked on my mental health. I struggle a lot with mental health and ADHD and honestly depression sometimes. I don't know if it's clinical or what, but it can get rough. When you're a freelancer, a lot of your extremities, such as mental health issues, get exposed very quickly. If you can't focus on a project, you can't get a project done. If you can't get yourself out of bed, you can't get yourself to do the thing. When you have a real job, you're going in even if you're sick. You're going in even if you feel like crap. You're going in and you're forcing yourself to do things even if you're just standing there to get it done. Being a freelancer, you don't have that benefit, and that's where the community really comes in, and that's where working on your mental health is really important. Because you are so much more exposed. Everything is make or break on you. It can be very, very tough when you're struggling with mental illness, mental health issues, but also trying to do so, so much. I am a very ambitious individual. I'm not going to shy away from that. But I'm also going to be very open in the fact that I struggle some days to even get out of bed or exist. And when you are 100% solely responsible for your income, for your successes, and for your failures, it makes that pressure so much worse, and you need to find healthy ways to deal with it. I might do another video on this. I don't want to get too deep on this video, but that's 10 ways that you can be a much better composer in 2026 without doing anything related to music. If you find this helpful, please let me know. I love helping people. I love sharing what I learn. I love hearing what you guys are learning right now. And I've been getting a lot of good DMs on my Instagram, but please just reach out. Community is important, and let's build this community together, because I think this is truly, there's potential here to be truly something special. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's kick some ass in 2026.